I thought my best friend was dating the school's biggest flirt, but the truth turned out to be much darker. Satlana, my bestie, was like a human dandelion, soft, bright, and far too easy to break. She still thought having sex was just kissing with tongue, and kept a box of every birthday card anyone had ever given her. So when she started going out with Armani, every bone in my body started vibrating like police sirens. Armani was the certified F-boy of our school, football captain, jaw sharp enough to cut glass, and a dating record longer than a CVS receipt. Since freshman year, he went through girls like they were limited edition Starbucks drinks. 2 weeks with Sasha, 3 with Caitlin, a record month with some sophomore whose name I never even learned. I cornered Lana by her locker the day after she told me, "Svet, you know his reputation, right?" One of his girlfriends, Candy, literally transferred schools after they broke up. She just smiled, that soft, innocent smile that made me want to grab her shoulders and shake her. "I know what I'm doing," she said, but she didn't. She couldn't. The worst part was how she stopped answering my texts. At first, the replies came slower, hours instead of minutes. Then, one-word answers. By day 3, nothing. Svetlana had never gone more than 4 hours without sending me some unhinged AI reel or asking if her outfit matched. The silence felt wrong, like when the birds stopped chirping before a storm. So I grabbed her favorite boba and went to check on her. Her mom let me in, and I found her curled up on the couch with Armani. Heating pads, flowers, tangled on TV, him rubbing her back. "Bad cramps," she whispered. Armani didn't even look weirded out that I'd barged in. He just asked if I wanted to join them. 2 weeks passed, then 3. They were still together, already breaking Armani's record. But something felt off. He walked her to every class, even when it made him late. He checked her phone with her at lunch, always sitting where he could see the whole cafeteria. My gut screamed red flag. The kind Liz from TikTok warns you about. By month 2, I barely recognized my best friend, but not in the way I'd expected. Her grades shot up from B's to A's. She joined the debate team, something she'd been too scared to do for years. She was glowing, confident. Even wore that dress she'd bought but never dared to put on. It didn't make sense. Toxic boyfriends don't make you bloom. So I started digging. I caught Armani's exes between classes. He was perfect, Sasha said, looking almost guilty. Like, too perfect. Opened doors, remembered everything. But it was like he was there, but not there, you know. Caitlin said the same thing. Sweet, but distant. I started following them. I'm not proud of it, but I did. I'd watch Armani at lunch, the way he scanned the room, the way his body tensed when certain people walked by. He wasn't watching her. He was watching everyone else. Then came that Monday in month 3. Svetlana's seat in first period was empty. So was Armani's. A week later, the school said they'd both transferred, no details. Her socials went dark. His did, too. I went to her house after school. Her mom's face froze when she saw me. "She's staying with relatives," she said quickly, but I'd known that family 9 years. Her grandparents were gone. Her only aunt lived in Boston. We'd visited her last summer. It was a lie. I sat in my car for 20 minutes, shaking, trying to make sense of it. Then I drove to the Starbucks downtown, the one where Svet and I always studied. That's where I saw Candy. When she noticed me, her face went pale. "You're Svetlana's friend," she said. Not a question. "Please," I begged. "Something happened to them. No one will tell me anything." Candy's hands trembled around her coffee cup. "Armani wasn't a player," she whispered. "He was protecting us." My brain short-circuited. What? There was this guy, he was stalking me. Followed me everywhere. Armani found out somehow. He started dating me publicly, walked me to class, made sure everyone knew I was his girlfriend. The guy backed off. After 3 weeks, Armani staged a breakup. The stalker disappeared. It hit me. All of them. Every girl he dated had been harassed. Armani would swoop in, play the perfect boyfriend until the threat vanished, then let them dump him. He made himself look like a player so no one would connect the dots. I drove straight to Svetlana's house and practically kicked the door in. What happened to her? Who was stalking her? I demanded. Her mom broke down. Her old gymnastics coach. He'd been sending messages, showing up places. Armani found out, tried his usual thing, and this time he actually fell in love. But the coach had connections. He threatened Armani, said he'd get him expelled on fake assault charges. Said he'd ruin them both. What happened to Svetlana? I asked again. Her mom hesitated, listening. Did you drive here? Yeah. Why? What color is your car? Silver Honda. Why? Her face went white. There's a GPS tracker on it. He puts them on any car that visits me. You've been leading him somewhere for the past hour. My knees gave out. Every place I'd gone, the Starbucks, the drive here, he knew. Svetlana's mom grabbed my arm and yanked me inside, her fingers digging into my skin. She kept glancing out the window, scanning every car on the street. We get inside, and she slams the door shut, turning 3 different locks. Her hands are shaking so badly she can barely twist the deadbolt. Then she runs to the windows, yanking the curtains closed one by one, moving through the house like she's done it 100 times before. I stand frozen in the entryway, watching her rush around. When she comes back, her face is pale, eyes red like she's been crying for weeks. She starts talking fast, words spilling out too quickly to keep up. The coach has been everywhere for months. He showed up twice in the same week at the grocery store, just standing in the produce section, watching them shop. He was parked outside Svetlana's doctor's office. He followed them to the mall, to restaurants, always keeping just enough distance that it seemed coincidental. That's why they were so grateful when Armani figured it out and offered to help. The police had told them there was nothing they could do because he hadn't technically threatened anyone or broken any laws. He was just there, in public places where he had every right to be. She sits on the couch and buries her face in her hands. Then she tells me that Armani approached them about 6 weeks ago, right after a football game. He'd noticed the coach sitting in the stands, not watching the players, but watching Svetlana. Armani recognized that look, that obsessive stare. He'd seen it before with other girls he'd helped. He came to their house the next day and explained everything, his whole system. How he publicly dated girls being stalked so the creeps would back off. How his reputation as a player gave him the perfect cover to move from one girlfriend to another without drawing suspicion. Svetlana's parents agreed immediately. They were desperate. The police had said they needed proof of direct threats before issuing a restraining order. So Armani became her very public boyfriend, walking her everywhere, making sure everyone knew she was his, and for a few weeks, it worked. The coach backed off. But then, he started showing up again, closer, bolder. My stomach twists. All those weeks I spent investigating Armani, following them, questioning his exes, convinced I was protecting my best friend, I was completely wrong. Every red flag I thought I saw was something else entirely. The way he walked her to every class, constantly scanned the room, positioned himself between her and the crowd. None of it was controlling. He was literally shielding her with his body. Every single thing I'd labeled toxic was him trying to keep her alive. I'd been investigating the only person actually protecting her. Meanwhile, the real threat was tracking cars, sitting outside clinics, following them home. Svetlana's mom suddenly pulls out her phone and makes a call. Her voice is low and urgent, words spilling too fast to catch. I only hear fragments. She's here now. He knows. We need to move faster. When she hangs up, she tells me to stay away from the windows. 20 minutes pass. I sit on the couch, checking my phone over and over, half expecting a text from an unknown number. Every car that drives by makes my heart jump, then the back door creaks open, and I nearly scream, but it's Armani, with another guy behind him. Armani looks different, nothing like the smooth, confident captain everyone at school knows. His face is sharp, serious. He moves through the house with practiced focus, checking every window lock, testing every door. The other guy walks straight toward me. Armani introduces him as Dorian, his best friend. Dorian asks for my car keys, and I hand them over, my hands still trembling. He slips out the back door while Armani stays near the center of the house, positioned so he can see both the front and back. 5 minutes later, Dorian returns holding a small black device. No bigger than a matchbox. It's magnetic, he says, showing me how it was stuck under my rear wheel well, somewhere I never would have looked. He scrolls through photos on his phone. 6 others, all identical, he says. Different cars, same tracker. The coach has been tagging every vehicle that comes near this house for 2 months. My breath catches. My parents' cars. My friends. Anyone who's visited. Armani sits across from me, calm but tense. We were planning to move Svetlana and her mom this week, he says. That's why they suddenly transferred schools. But now that your car's been tagged, we have to move sooner. He's right. The coach knows someone's been asking my questions. Talking to Candy and the others must have tipped him off. I ask where Lana is now. Her mom says she's already safe 2 hours away, with actual relatives this time. The Boston aunt story was just a cover. They sent her ahead yesterday after spotting the coach's car parked on their street for 3 hours straight. The surveillance had been escalating, getting more obvious. The lie was meant to protect her. Better to have people believe she was visiting family than to have anyone asking what really happened. Armani leans forward, elbows on his knees, explaining everything. It's strange hearing him talk like this, not like a high school senior, but someone older, trained. He started all this after his sister was stalked by an ex. The police couldn't act until it turned violent, and watching her fall apart changed him. That's when he learned that public relationships offered the kind of safety restraining orders didn't. Stalkers avoided confrontation, so if a girl had a visible boyfriend, they usually backed off. His player reputation gave him perfect cover. No one questioned why he went through girlfriends so quickly. He pulls out a worn notebook filled with names, dates, stalker details, 7 girls, each story carefully documented like case files. Notes on what worked, what didn't, and how long it took before each threat disappeared. Dorian adds that he handles logistics, driving girls to safe houses, watching parking lots, coordinating with teammates who quietly cover for Armani when he disappears from practice. Even their football coach thinks Armani's just helping friends through family issues. He shows me a spreadsheet of threat levels, check-ins, and response plans. It's organized like a tactical operation, and these are just high school kids. I glance at the notebook again, and it finally clicks. Svetlana's confidence, her improved grades, the debate team, the dress she finally wore. It wasn't her changing into someone new. It was her finally feeling safe. Every red flag I thought I saw, him walking her everywhere, scanning the halls, wasn't control. It was protection. When Armani talks about Svetlana, his voice softens. This time was different. He'd fallen for her. Usually, he stayed detached, but with her, he couldn't. And that's what made everything dangerous. The coach noticed Armani's feelings and escalated, followed them more aggressively, made threats, saw him as real competition. Svetlana's mom opens her laptop and shows me an email thread, dozens of messages from the coach. They start out innocent, asking about gymnastics, but get darker fast. Personal questions. Obsessive ones. About her friends, her dating life. The next emails are worse. Detailed sightings of Svetlana around town, at grocery stores, at the mall. He describes what she's wearing, who she's with. Then the threats start. He says Armani's just a kid who'll lose interest soon. He threatens to file fake assault charges, claims he has witnesses, says he'll get Armani expelled and destroy his football future. The final message is the worst. He'll ruin both their lives unless Svetlana meets him alone. Her mom closes the laptop, trembling. That's when she explains their plan. Svetlana had to disappear. The threats were too real. Armani's family lawyer has been collecting evidence for weeks, screenshots, photos, timestamps, but the legal process is slow. The priority now is keeping Svetlana safe. She's staying with real relatives 2 hours away, in a secured neighborhood the coach doesn't know about. Armani turns to me serious. I have 2 choices. Go home, act normal, pretend I don't know, keep the coach thinking his tracker's still working. Or disappear too, help from a safe location. Both are risky. If I stay and he finds out I know I'm a target. If I vanish, he might panic. Then Dorian offers a third option, leave the tracker on my car, but have someone else drive it. His brother could take it through my usual routes: school, library, food spots. The coach would think I'm still going about my day, while we buy time to coordinate with police. It's dangerous, but it could work. We decide I'll call in sick and stay with Dorian's family for now. Their gated neighborhood has cameras everywhere. My parents will be told tonight, in person, no phone calls, just in case. Armani drives me home in his car while Dorian follows in mine, keeping the tracker active. We stop at a gas station and a drive-thru, making everything look normal. Still, I can't stop scanning for a dark blue sedan, his car. Every blue vehicle makes my chest tighten. Armani tells me to breathe. The coach probably isn't tailing us since he trusts the tracker, but I keep checking the mirrors anyway. At my house, Dorian pulls into the driveway while Armani and I go inside. My parents look surprised. My dad stands up, but Armani raises his hands calmly. "We need to talk," he says. My mom mutes the TV. I start explaining everything: the stalker, the operation, and the tracker hidden under my car outside. My mom's face goes pale when I tell her I've been leading a stalker around town without realizing it. She starts crying, clutching my dad's hand. Dad grabs his phone to call 911, but Armani stops him, explaining that we need to go through his family's lawyer, who already works with the detective on stalking cases. A random police response could spook the coach before the evidence is ready. Mom drags me upstairs, throwing clothes into a bag with shaking hands, folding, unfolding, then just shoving them in. She keeps hugging me, whispering sorry over and over. Downstairs, Dad's voice rises as he talks to the lawyer, repeating words like tracker and danger until my stomach twists. Armani appears at my door and tells me to pack fast. Mom asks how long I'll be gone, and he admits he's not sure, maybe days, maybe longer. That's when it hits me. My normal life is over for now. 40 minutes later, a detective named Brody Hanson arrives. Calm but serious, he takes notes while I explain everything. When I mention the coach's name, his expression hardens. He's handled 3 other complaints about the same man, messages, following girls, but never enough evidence for charges. The system failed them, he says. Not this time. Outside, he photographs the GPS tracker on my car, removes it carefully, and bags it as evidence. He explains that tracking someone without consent is illegal and gives grounds for an immediate warrant. He warns me to stay off social media completely. The coach might already be watching my accounts. Before we leave, the detective adds his number to my phone and tells me to call if I notice anything strange. My mom hugs me so tight I can barely breathe, and Dad thanks Dorian, his voice breaking. I climb into Dorian's car with my bag, and we drive across town, taking random turns to make sure no one's following. During the drive, I draft a message to my friends, saying I'm staying with relatives for a family emergency and will be offline for a few days. It's vague but believable. After sending it, I turn off location services, watching my dot vanish from the map like I'm erasing myself. Dorian's parents greet me calmly when we arrive, like they've done this before. His mom takes my bag and shows me to a spacious guest room with its own bathroom, treating it like a normal sleepover instead of a hiding place. His dad walks me through their home security system, door sensors, alarms, cameras, and mentions that Dorian has helped Armani protect girls for over a year. When he brings up what happened to Armani's sister, his expression darkens, and I realize it must have been something awful. That night, lying awake, I replay everything about Satlana. All the times I thought Armani was controlling, he was actually shielding her. Checking her phone meant looking for threats, not invading privacy. I'd mistaken protection for manipulation, focusing on the wrong danger. The guy I suspected was the villain was actually the one saving her. Around 3 a.m., I finally fall asleep, only to wake to Detective Hanson's call. They raided the coach's house at dawn and found more than anyone expected: hidden cameras, unused GPS trackers, and folders full of surveillance photos of Satlana, her mom, Armani, and me. Every picture was labeled with dates and times. The coach was arrested on stalking and illegal surveillance charges and held without bail. Hanson warns that his lawyer will try to frame it as harmless concern, but the evidence is solid. Later that morning, I get permission to video call Svetlana. The second her face appears, we both start crying. She apologizes for not warning me. I apologize for ever doubting Armani. We talk over each other until we're both silent, just staring through tears. Then she explains that Armani insisted on keeping the circle small so the coach wouldn't catch on. She hated lying, but it was the only way to keep everyone safe. 6 months ago, the coach messaged Svetlana on Instagram, saying he'd seen her at the mall and asking if she still did gymnastics. She thought it was nice that he remembered her, so she replied once. Then the messages kept coming, about school, friends, weekends, until they turned personal. He asked if she had a boyfriend, what she wore to parties, whether she went places alone. She stopped responding, but he didn't stop messaging. Soon, he started showing up in person, first at the grocery store, pretending it was a coincidence, then at the library, sitting a few tables away with a book he never opened. Her parents filed police reports, but the officers said he wasn't breaking any laws. He was always just far enough within legal limits to avoid action. Her dad began documenting everything: photos, dates, times, but it wasn't enough for a restraining order. The GPS trackers were the first clear crime, which finally let Detective Hansen arrest him. When Armani's face appears beside Svetlana's on the video call, I thank him for protecting her while I was busy suspecting him. He smiles and says my instincts were good, just aimed at the wrong person. Then he explains that his player image is intentional, a cover that lets him publicly date girls who need protection without anyone questioning it. People assume the worst, but that's the price he's willing to pay. 3 days later, Detective Hansen calls again. 2 more of the coach's former students have come forward, describing the same pattern of contact and stalking. The new testimonies strengthen the case, forcing the coach's lawyer to consider a plea deal.